That's inappropriate. Unbelievable.
Right. Hi guys and welcome back to our channel. We have been getting a lot of questions at the moment about weddings and wedding wine specifically, not just weddings. How much wine do you want at your wedding? What sort of wine do you want?
We thought we'd actually get two people who have never been engaged or married to tell you the right solution to that. We will put it out there that we have been to several weddings and would safely say that we're very good guests. So if you're having a wedding,
good guests, invite
you know who to invite.
Party starters. In all seriousness, we're just going to go through a few little tips and tricks about wedding wine. Quantity. It is tricky because you don't really know how much your guests are going to drink.
A lot.
If you're, don't invite Hamish.
Most of us, it's a lot.
Don't invite Hamish.
The reason you go to a wedding, like the love's on the side. Focus on fizz. Think about fizz. Receptions last for a long time. So I think a really rough kind of guide would be saying, you know, expect 50% of the wine you buy to be fizz, and then you probably want to do a 25-25 split between white and red, depending on guests, and also, you know, depending on the season. If it's winter, you might want a bit more red. If it's, you know, a warm summer like we're supposed to be having now, then it might be a bit more white. But I think 50-25-25 is usually a pretty good mix. We
would say, to be safe, around a bottle and a half per person.
Yeah, because you're always going to have people who will drink a bottle. You'll have people who drink a bottle and a half, but you'll also have people who might just have a glass. And so I think we think probably it's best to say expect to do about a bottle per person. Yeah. To keep it safe.
Yeah, and then a little bit more on the side.
And if it's your own wedding, keep a couple of bottles for yourself, because the last thing you want to be is missing out.
Always better to have too much. I cannot think of anything worse than running out of booze at a wedding. It's actually stuff of nightmares.
Having seen films like The Runaway Bride, I feel like there are worse things that can happen at a wedding, but that's just me.
That's got to be up there after sort of Zombie Bride, then running out.
Yeah.
Got to be right up
Bride
there.
running away, Zombie Bride, running out of wine, everything else.
And in terms of what kind of wines you want to go for, I think it's lovely. I think everyone thinks that they want to spend loads of money on sort of really posh champagnes and stuff, but realistically it's very sad the amount of weddings I've been to that you're just walking past these full glasses, and if you're spending about £9 per glass, that is a very sad thing. So I would recommend not spending too much money on the champagne or fizz. Obviously you don't have to go for champagne. I would not recommend having an upgrade for the toast either. I've seen it done at lots of weddings, and often the catering don't actually make anyone aware, and unless it's really different, for example, unless you go for like a pink and a white, nobody's really going to notice the difference. So then I probably just wouldn't bother. People are quite drunk by now anyway.
Also, don't dismiss things like cremant. It doesn't have to be champagne. I think that you can have just as joyous an occasion and just as nice toast with something that isn't champagne, because it doesn't need to be really expensive.
It's grown up without the price tag.
And then in terms of whites, you know, I think that if you think about kind of the dishes that people might be having, you probably want something that is quite easy and a bit of a crowd pleaser. And I think we sort of sometimes say that maybe a crowd pleaser isn't a good thing, but it's honestly like a wine that is not really offensive. People are just going to enjoy it. So you look for things like Sauvignon, and you might look for Chenin Blanc or something like that. But basically anything that's just really easy to drink and really kind of like fruit forward is also a really good suggestion, and it makes it easier for a lot of the guests.
I mean, at the end of the day, you want them to be talking about you, not about the wine.
That's
you don't want to be upstaged by the wine. People worry about being upstaged by their bridesmaids, but it could be the wine.
I was recently a bridesmaid, by the way, so knows all about it. Don't let this face fool you. What about reds?
Reds.
What do you want to drink?
Reds, often 'tis the season to be wed in summer, but I'm not going to generalise. But if you are getting married in summer, don't buy loads of red, first of all. I was at a wedding, as Hamish has just said, and there was a lot of red left over just because over catering. In summer, people really don't want to drink red that much. If you are going to get a red, make it like Pinot Noir, Gamay, that kind of thing. If you're going to have a winter wedding, or kind of like a in-betweeny, autumnal, then obviously heavier reds will work better. And I think when you get to that, you can be a proper foodie if you're going to have a bit more of a winter wedding, I think. Whereas in summer, people are just like knocking it back and having a great time.
Have you ever been to a wedding where they pulled out something really crazy?
No, I haven't. But I haven't been to loads of weddings.
I think I've seen, I've not been to one, but I've seen photos and heard stories of weddings where like the table, the family table, I don't know what you call that, like table plus, the better table with the important people, they have like their own selection of things that they drink. And I find that insulting and would be quite disappointed if I saw that someone was drinking something nicer.
I mean, you just have to find a way to get to that table.
I literally just go and pull up a chair. I invite myself.
I'm here for the wine, not for the people.
Congratulations and all, but say thanks.
And then rosé, if it's summer, everyone loves a drop of pink in
it's
summer.
really weird. I never think of rosé with weddings, but I
The
always
wedding I was
think
at last week, they had rosé and everyone was drinking it because it was a nice, And also, if you've got bottles like that, everyone loves a sexy bottle. If you've got a nice tall little guy like that one, looks nice on the table, doesn't it? So what was Julia was saying today as well? Julia, our other co-founder. Sorry.
Do you want to just maybe reintroduce that bit? So that you don't sound like you don't know who she is, or like you've never met her. Julie? Our other co-founder, Julie.
Julie, our co-founder, was saying...
Julie,
oh my god,
oh my
you confused me! You confused me!
That was like a joke that won't die. Try that again.
Okay, Julia, our co-founder, gave us a really good idea of just making sure that guests pour their own glasses. Because if you pre-pour all the glasses, there is that horrible thing where when the music starts, everyone departs, and lo and behold, lots of delicious wine is left to the mercy of...
The elements? I was like, where are you going with that? The wine is at the mercy of people running around and... what's the game called where you just pick up glasses off the table?
Minesweeping.
Minesweeping.
That will be next week's episode.
That's right.
How to best minesweep your way around a wedding.
The fact that I know that makes me think that I should be invited to your wedding. Any more tips?
Yes. Wedding planning, I've heard, can be quite stressful. I saw my sister beforehand, it's not pretty. But there are certain elements that are really fun, aka tasting cake, tasting canapes, and wine tasting. So whoever you're buying your wine off, we sell lots of wine, make sure they put you on a good show. Make sure they put on a good show, you know.
That's it.
Go to wherever they are.
You wouldn't buy a car without test driving
100%.
it, hopefully.
You can get, like, if anything, go and play off multiple merchants and have a field day. And no, don't do that. But make sure they put on a good show. Go and try your wines, because it's a great day out. And yeah, like you said, you wouldn't get a car.
And be specific as well. If you're looking for something very specific in particular, say you had a really nice time in Tuscany and you want a Tuscan red wine, be really specific. Ask for what you want and just make sure that it's, you know, the wine on the day is a nice bit on the side, but nothing that's going to sort of pull too much focus. Because as Lucy pointed out, on your wedding day, I hear that you want to be the center of attention. So in conclusion, this is the in conclusion part. In conclusion,
In conclusion, I feel like I'm at my GCSE English exam. In conclusion, buy lots of wine, make sure you've got good quantities of sparkling and then half and half the rest, basically. You want to have styles that suit the season and make sure you have a good time when you're picking it.
And if this hasn't been at all clear and you feel more confused after watching this video, we are also available to help. So drop us an email.
And we promise not to crash your wedding.
I can't promise that.
Like and subscribe!